The Animal Crossing Direct was crazy and full of so much information that my brain melted. I'm so excited about the fact that this game is just 25 days away from release. It's been 7 years, but it's finally happening! There's so much to go over and a lot of details to break down. So this video is going to concentrate on the mechanics available to us in New Horizons. Detailed mechanics like crafting and customization, that'll have their own breakdown since there's so much to dive into with that. The Direct introduced a plethora of new mechanics to the series, as well as some returning ones from past games. When you're first dropped off on the island, one of the first things you have to do is place your tent. Picking where a tent goes was present in New Leaf as well, but this time we actually have the ability to see an outline of the specific blocks that the tent will take up. No more asking Isabel for a preview of your house every 5 seconds and then stepping a little bit left or right, one at a time to get it exactly right. This mechanic works for the animal villagers' houses as well. No more ruining your perfect tree orchard or that flower patch that you've been watering for days to get those hybrids. In previous games, the day after you're told the villagers moving in, they immediately have the house. But this time, they start with the tent like the rest of us. That does make me question, will they get their house the very next day? We don't have to craft our own house, we just talk to Nook and he begins our adventure. Maybe the animal villagers do the same to get their actual house? A cute little detail I do enjoy is being able to unpack our boxes in the tent. It's crappy furniture, but it feels so much better when you're opening a box and creating this such a sad tent. Speaking of furniture, thank the Lord, Happy Home Designer-esque furniture placing is back and has been improved with 3D camera rotation. A simpler version of this mechanic was first introduced in Happy Home Designer and then was included in the Welcome Amiibo update in New Leaf, along with the expanded storage box for your house. At the top of the screen, we see an option for different categories of items that you can place. Next to that is an option to switch between hanging furniture items on the wall and placing them on the floor. We even have the option to sort our furniture, probably by series, so we can easily find the items that correlate. When it switches screens, we see the options for rotating and grabbing, storing items in the mysterious storage area that we've yet to see, and selecting multiple items to move. There's also an option to look in your pockets. You can easily switch from storage to your bag without having to put all the furniture into one spot. In the upper left, we see a button to turn on and off the lights, because you need to know what it looks like in the dark, duh. As well as a box icon, which is presumably how you get back to the storage menu after you've clicked out of it. I am so happy they're keeping this as part of the series. It is a much better way to handle placing furniture without having to worry about your character being stuck in between the toilet and the green bench. It allows for so much more customization and creativity. And it seems the developers really thought out the specific details in these mechanics and how to make the creative process less painful. It's these little things that make the experience so much more enjoyable. To make creating your beautiful house worthwhile, the developers have added a new feature, an actual camera. Picture option includes adding filters, borders, and rotating the camera in a 3D space. We also see eyeballs, which is probably the button you press to make the cameraman whistle to grab your character's attention. The zoom function is a nice thing to point out as well. At the beginning of each morning, we will get an island-wide announcement from Nook every morning, to which my mom reacted, "Damn, that's stupid." Not gonna lie, she has a valid point. But he does seem to be offering actually relevant information on his morning announcement. In this announcement, he offers a new workshop, which is probably referring to a new DIY crafting card like the one shown in the Direct. It does lead me to question how we unlock the new offers. Is it like Mario Maker, where you unlock new tools and items as real-world time progresses? Or do you have to complete specific in-game requirements to unlock the next thing to be announced? This is probably where we'll hear if anyone in particular is on the island that day, any special character, instead of asking one of the other permanent special characters like in past games. Hopefully this is just once a day, which might even be too much, but would be a great improvement from other games. On top of paying for your house, you must also pay for the getaway package, but instead with Nook Miles. No matter what, it seems like we'll always be in debt to Nook. Nook Miles are earned through completing tasks, but if we look deeper, we can actually see what these tasks are. We have the angling category, which holds the fishing missions, and if you look at the quantity of fish you need to catch to complete the goal, the initial goal is 10 fish, which is pretty easy to accomplish, but once you accomplish that, it jumps to 100. It makes me curious how big each gap is, but honestly, the bigger the better. Anything to keep me playing and keep me fishing, I'm all for. The next category is You've Got the Bug. We can assume this will be similar to the fishing goals, but instead with bugs. Island Togetherness seems to do with communicating with villagers, maybe villager requests, a great way to force you to talk to that one animal that you've locked around pitfalls. There's also a DIY mission, which gives you a reason to craft random things that you would never craft, and to explore your island. As you finish a goal, you receive your Nook Miles as well as a title keyword. So it seems as you complete your missions, your title levels up. Kind of reminds me of Sea of Thieves. But instead of a title like Legend of the Mystical Order, you get a title like I've caught far too many horse mackerel. In the corner of the resident services is the ATM we've come to know and love, but this time it can be used to redeem your Nook Miles. Looking at the options, we also see a Nook shopping option. Is this the normal catalog of already owned items that we can reorder? Can we buy other things here before we have access to Nook's Cranny? There's also an ABD, which is automatic bell dispenser, which is just the normal ATM for your bells. If we take a closer look, we can see some of the items that Nook Miles can actually be redeemed for. First, the direct shows a bunch of Nook Inc. merch for purchase. And I mean, come on, look at her. That merch is adorable. These items will be mailed to us, probably show up in our mailbox the next day if the series keeps true to the way they've done things in the past. The next category is special items. We see the Nook Miles ticket, which is used to visit whatever island Wilbur feels like flying us to. I'll break down my thoughts on these islands in a later video. It was a lot, alright? It's so many details. The next item is the Custom Design Pro Editor. This is for all you pixel artists out there who are creative enough to properly design parts of clothing, like sleeves and back of shirts. It basically gives you more to design than just one square tile repeated on each part of the clothing item. Next we see the Tool Ring, which we actually got a pretty good look at. Hopefully this actually expands our storage for tools and we won't have to worry about the large number of tools taking up half our inventory space. This is a nice upgrade from the quick select we had in New Leaf and City Folk. Instead of clicking through every item in your inventory that you can hold, you just quickly pick from this amazing circle of productive awesomeness. I might actually start using an umbrella when it rains. The next item is the Pretty Good Tools recipe. Are we moving away from the normal silver and gold tools? Do we purchase all the tools with Nook Miles? Will we still have to dig a glowing spot, bury an extra shovel, wait 3 days, and shake the golden tree to get a golden shovel? Still haven't gotten the golden axe in City Folk. Damn Serena and her judgmental attitude. Minor trees were confirmed to be returning by this sneaky clip in the direct though, so the golden spot could actually work in a similar way that it did in the original game. Next is the Pocket Organization Guide. We have seen screenshots of expanded pocket space, and with it being the most expensive thing on the list, there is a good chance that this is the case. The final items are of course more hairstyles. Amiibos are functional! Thank goodness, because I have a lot. From what we've seen so far, they do pretty much the same thing they did in New Leaf. They allow you to bring whatever villager you scan in into the campground on your island, though in this game the campground is just limited to the tent rather than Harvey's groovy spot. And not all Amiibo are currently available to be used in the game. Future updates will make them available to be used in the game. So go grab those New Leaf Amiibos while they're still $5. Messages in a Bottle have also been kind of confirmed to be coming back, unless the developers were just real nice about planting this random bottle down by the ocean. Finally, the direct showed off the ability to have friends visit, but without having to make actual friends. Just the way us introverts like it. You can also invite people to your island without the worry of having them take their axe and destroy everything in sight, because everyone has that urge, apparently. And that's it for the overall basic mechanics. Again, the terraforming and the crafting will have their own videos since there's so much to dive into, so be on the lookout for those. What mechanic are you most excited for? Any of these newly added features tickle your fancy? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next Animal Crossing video. Bye. We have seen screenshots of